Think we should just go ahead and get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our gut health and immunity class tonight. We are so excited to share this information with you that we have found that has changed our lives. So we hope that you will see what we see, feel what we feel, and we're so glad you came to hear what we have heard and what we've learned. So my name is Jessica Wagner. I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, which means I'm the third from the top of the ranks. And I also am an MD. I'm a pediatrician. I work full-time, and I'm a mom of 4 little kids and a wife to the most amazing guy. So first of all, I just want to give a little disclosure. Plexus does not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical condition. And all the information that we're going to be sharing with you tonight is based on our own research about gut health. So although I am a physician, I am most likely not your physician, and I always want to give that disclaimer as well, that I will not be giving specific personalized medical advice on the call tonight. We always encourage you to talk to your own medical professional, your healthcare provider, about your specific conditions and medication interactions and things like that. So that's just my little disclosure right up front, but we are so glad that you are here tonight to learn more about gut health and the impact it has on everything, okay? So we mentioned specifically immunity, but we're gonna talk a little bit about all of the things, okay? So really quickly, just a little bit more about me. My story starts long ago, probably when I was in medical school. So I finished medical school in 2007, and at that time, basically what I learned about gut health was that you should probably put your patients on probiotics after you give them antibiotics, and that nutrition is important. That's about it. Maybe there was more, but I probably wasn't paying that close of attention, to be honest with you. So as I went through my medical training and then became a mom, and my husband was diagnosed with celiac disease, and so was one of my children. 2 of my kids have pretty bad food allergies. That's where I started getting interested in the gut and doing a little bit more research for myself. Over the past 10 to 15 years, the medical research on gut health has completely exploded. And, back when I was in medical school in my pre-med years as well, they were doing the Human Genome Project. Probably some of you have heard of that. And after they finished the Human Genome Project, they started the Human Microbiome Project. And that's really where all this gut health research has come from. So in medical journals, every single month, there are articles being published about gut health and the impact that the gut has on so many other things. So one of the things I want to share with you is just a little quote here from a PhD. This was published in July of 2019. She said, "A healthy interaction between our immune system and the gut microbiota is crucial for the maintenance of our body's homeostasis and health. Imbalances in the gut microbiota may dysregulate immune responses and lead to the development of chronic inflammatory and autoimmune dysfunctions." So basically, your gut and your immune system are very intimately connected, and if one isn't functioning correctly, it's probably because of an imbalance in the gut. So they're very intimately linked, and as many of you probably know, because pretty much everybody here either has or knows somebody personally with an autoimmune condition, if I could guess. Autoimmune conditions include things like rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, celiac disease, type 1 diabetes, hypothyroidism, especially Hashimoto's, which we already mentioned, and psoriasis. Man, there's a lot of them. Egan might tell us a little bit more about that in a little bit, but all of those stem from an imbalance in the gut, causing inflammation and a rise in your immune system in a bad way. So a little inflammation is good. When you get exposed to a virus, you want your body to have a little bit of inflammation to be able to rev up your immune system and fight off the illness, right? But if you have too much inflammation and your immune system goes into hyperdrive, it basically starts to attack itself. And you end up with autoimmune conditions that are high in inflammation and cause a lot of havoc on your body. And they're not very easy to deal with. So as I was researching more about celiac disease and the food allergies my kids were suffering from, I learned so much more about the gut. the gut health, actually, the gut microbiome impacts pretty much every single system in your body. So it impacts your sleep and your mood balance by regulating hormones, including melatonin and serotonin. All of your hormone production is regulated by your gut. Blood sugar balance, digestion, nutrient absorption, obviously, inflammation control, immune function, lipid regulation, weight management, even blood pressure is linked to that. So the gut microbiome is super, super important. And the more I learned about this, the more I realized maybe this could help me with some of the things I was dealing with. I was completely exhausted all the time and thought I was just going to be tired for the rest of my life. Can anyone relate? Yeah. Lots of us, I think, go through life like that. And I was living on sugar to stay awake. I personally was never a soda drinker, but I know a lot of people that are dependent on their Diet Coke or something else to stay awake. Mine, it was Skittles and M&Ms. And then I was super backed up. I was on daily stool softeners every single day to try to go. It took me forever to fall asleep. And then I dreamed all night long, like I relived my workday all day, all night. And it just was not great. So I had started taking probiotics, multivitamin, vitamin D, magnesium that I was getting at Costco or Walmart or wherever I happened to be shopping, and nothing really seemed to be making any difference. I knew I needed to clean up my diet because that was a big issue for me, but I had zero willpower to do it. I didn't have the energy to even think about it. I tried to exercise maybe a little bit, but not much. And because I just was so tired. So when I was introduced to these supplements, I just was on fire for the science behind these, because I had been learning already about gut health. And when I learned about the magic of these supplements, which really isn't magic, it's just science, it just was so fascinating to me. So I started taking the triplex that Egan's going to tell us about in just a minute, when my youngest baby was 5 weeks old. As a pediatrician, it was super important to me that it was safe for breastfeeding. Okay. Obviously I didn't seem to care about the amount of sugar I was putting in my body, but for some reason it was really important what was on the label of the supplements. So I looked at every single ingredient. I felt very comfortable taking them as a nursing mom. And I think for pregnancy, no problems as well. I've had several friends that are OBs look at the products and have felt comfortable with that as well. So I started taking them when my baby was 5 weeks old. In the first 3 days, my sugar cravings started disappearing. In the first week, I got off my daily stool softeners I'd been on for 7 years. And I'm much better in that area than I've ever been ever. Over the first 3 months, my sleep improved, my energy improved, my mood improved. I just literally came alive again in a way that I did not even think was possible. And so then I started sharing about these products because I knew there were people out there who were suffering just like I was. And organically, a business grew. And now here I am. So I am going to pass the baton on to my dear friend, Egan. He has a fabulous story. He also happens to be a firefighter and paramedic. So like me, we live in masks lately, right, Egan? You guys, by the way, this is me post-work. I put the earrings and the mascara on for this call. This is not what I wear at work because at work I'm covered in a mask and a head shield right now. But Egan is going to share his story with us, and then he's going to tell us about that triplex combo that I just mentioned.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jessica. So my name is Egan. Just like Jessica said, I'm a firefighter, paramedic. I've been in emergency services for 21 years, and I've been a paramedic for like 18 years. So I've seen that side of emergency medical services for quite a while too. So anyways, I'm 39 years old. I have a wife. I have 2 kids and 1 on the way. So life's a little busy right now and a little hectic, but it's all good. So anyways, my health story is I never really had many health issues whatsoever. I always tried to take care of myself. I did those right things. I tried to eat clean. I exercised a lot. That was not an issue. The only thing I kind of had was some seasonal allergies. And I took over-the-counter medication just during the seasonal allergy season. So, but all that changed. So about 7 years ago, my son and I were we were sitting out in front of a coffee shop in a patio area, and a car hit the gas instead of the brake, and he drove right through us. my son went one way, I went the other, and for a brief period of time, I couldn't find him. He was underneath the debris. So it took me about a minute or so to find him, along with some other people. As I found him, he's lying face down, not moving. In that moment, I'm thinking every parent's worst nightmare, that my son is dead. So I went down and picked him up, and he cried right away. And that's the best cry I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't mind kids crying, because that means they're breathing. Anybody in EMS knows that. So, so that was the best cry I've ever heard. So long story short, we just went to the hospital that day, and we were released the same day, only bumps and bruises. So that was kind of the physical effects from that. Was very minor, pure miracle that we're alive, obviously. However, the after effects is what was kind of yet to be seen. So within 1 week, I started having swelling in my middle toes. And within 1 week, I thought they were broken. They were so bad and inflamed, I thought they missed something. But that was the first sign of psoriatic arthritis. And so basically that triggered my autoimmune condition, and I had a diagnosis of PTSD. But all that I just told you took about 3 years to figure out or more. So it wasn't like I knew I had PTSD. Lots of things along the way, angry outbursts, not able to sleep, you name it, I had it. And so those were my first signs of that psoriatic arthritis. So from there, I had a plantar fasciitis for a year. It's like walking on steak knives. I had hip pain, back pain, unable to hold my child on some days. Just a very miserable existence for several years. And then after that fun stuff, I should say along with that, became the skin stuff. So I started having dandruff. I thought I was having dandruff. I tried all the Pert Plus or whatever, and just trying to see if that took care of it. Nothing. And then that's when I went to specialist after specialist, you name it, I saw them. So I went to orthopedics, dermatologists, general practitioners, nurse practitioners, and naturopaths, which actually cost me thousands of dollars, but it was actually a good thing because they kind of put things together. So I was just hitting dead end roads with lots of people, just steroid creams. They would work for about 3 weeks, and then my skin would come right back. So it's like, well, it's not a skin issue. So what all that did, and I'm super glad that no doctors put it all together, because I might be in a different place than I am right now. So what that did was it motivated me to find my own kind of, I knew what was going on. I told every doctor, hey, I got hit by a car. I've had this stress. I've had PTSD. I think I might have this. And my brother has psoriatic arthritis. And they're like, nope, no, just dismiss me. So I just didn't accept that. I did my own research, just like Jessica said, about gut health. And I kind of stumbled into that and read everything I could. And that was what put things together with me and that naturopath doctor that I ended up actually put it together, but I couldn't afford to see him anymore because it was so expensive. And his treatments actually ended up not working for me. But so gut health came along. I started on my own healing path and got treatment for my PTSD. I did EMDR. And then it started kind of piecing things together with me. And it just started going back to a little better place for me. Along the way, my friend Phyllis Anderson, who's a nurse, started posting about a pink drink. I thought it was some weight loss thing. I didn't understand what it was. She came by the station and said that it's all about gut health. And I'm like, oh, thank you, because I've been looking for something, because I've tried probiotics, I've tried supplements, I've tried like collagen, I've tried all these things, but nothing seems to be working. And so I put my money where my mouth is and I gave it a shot. Within about 2 months, my skin started reversing. It was pretty much a red line all the way around here, and it slowly started receding. I barely have anything. I have maybe a dime size left on my head. So, and that's amazing because it feels like your head's on fire all day long. So with that, my skin started reversing. The brain fog that autoimmune people have started lifting. More energy. I didn't have the hip pain. I literally just got done running 6 miles. I can run every day. It's to say it's giving me my life back is a true understatement. So it's simply a tool. It's not gonna, like Jessica said, it's not like gonna diagnose, cure, or anything. It's a tool, but it's a wonderful tool, and I'm so thankful that somebody shared with me, because I would be in a different spot if somebody didn't. So I got started was with the triplex and X Factor Plus, but I'll cover the triplex. So the triplex is all about balance, and it's kind of works together. So there's 3 products that make up the triplex. The first one is BioCleanse, and BioCleanse is an oxygenated form of magnesium as well as vitamin C in it. So about 50% of the population is actually deficient in magnesium. And a lot of people take vitamin D supplements kind of for their bones. And vitamin D is actually completely worthless if you don't have magnesium. So that's something that's needed, and it's a nutrient that we have and we don't actually get enough of. So there's so much good that comes with that magnesium. And it also rich in antioxidants, and it creates an alkaline environment. You might have heard that, because there's a lot of acidity between stress, diet, and other things. And creating that alkaline environment helps to heal our body and give those natural things to be able to give it what it needs. So BioCleanse is basically the trash remover. So it takes out a lot of the bad stuff, the toxins and the bad bacteria in our gut. So, and so then the second product is called ProBio 5. So ProBio 5 is our probiotic. And it's a freeze-dried probiotic, but it's not just a probiotic. It actually has 3 products in one. So it has a probiotic, which is the good bacteria for our gut. It also has an antifungal in it, which is grapeseed extract. And it also contains a digestive enzyme called chitosanase. So chitosanase is what attacks the candida. So candida is a yeast overgrowth that is kind of the root cause for a lot of gut health issues, including autoimmune. And that chitosanase actually breaks it down to be able to get rid of it, because we typically have an overgrowth of candida. Sugar, stress, all feeds that stuff, and this helps to break it down to get that yeast back to balance. The third product is called the pink drink. So it's called Slim, and it's not necessarily a weight loss thing, because I wouldn't be taking it if it was just a weight loss thing. It's more about balance. So it contains chromium in it, which is helpful for supporting glucose metabolism. So it keeps those blood sugar levels kind of at an even keel. We don't want to be spiking because that's how we lead to inflammation and other issues. It also contains antioxidants as well with the green bee coffee extract. And it's also beetroot is kind of the flavoring and the color for it. And so it's all kind of natural and good ingredients, and it tastes great. So I love that. So those are the 3 products, and that was what I started with. And it's because I took lots of other supplements, like I said, and Triplex kind of puts it all together to take out the bad, add the good. And then the Slim also has prebiotics to help feed those good gut bacteria. So it all kind of works together. So, thank you.
Yes, Egan, I love that. I love your story. And it is a perfect one when we're talking about the connection between gut health and the immune system, because that is exactly what happened with you. All the stress from your accident and all of that kind of stuff triggered that gut imbalance that triggers the autoimmune disease. So thank you so much for sharing with us. By the way, friends, I forgot to mention, if this is your first time on a Zoom call and you're not quite sure how it works, there is a chat function at the bottom. So you can click on that chat and feel free to share, like comment in the chat thread. And if you have any questions, you can put them there and we will be happy to answer them. Or if you want to wait until the end, then you can unmute yourself and ask your questions at that point in time as well. So one of the things that Egan mentioned that I just wanted to quickly go over, like emphasize again, was that the candida yeast. So candida is the bad like it's a yeast, but it's the bad part of the microbiome. The microbiome is made up of bacteria, yeast, viruses, all of these kind of things, and there's good and bad in all of that. And the trick is the balance in your gut. So if basically what you want is 80% good stuff and 20% bad stuff. But most Americans, because of our diet, medications, toxins in our water, artificial sweeteners, artificial anything, all the processed foods we eat, those shift our gut microbiome to an imbalance where we have mostly 80% bad and 20% good stuff. So everything you eat shifts that ratio a little bit. Everything you put in your mouth, everything you put on your skin, because we absorb things through our skin. So it is really important that we're trying to eat a good, healthy, balanced diet, but nobody eats perfectly, which is why supplementation is necessary. It helps to fill in those gaps and help with that rebalance. So the ProBio 5 that Egan mentioned, it is not a typical probiotic that just is good bacteria. It actually has those enzymes in it that kill the bad stuff while you're putting the good stuff in. So it shifts the ratio faster to help you get towards a good, healthy microbiome, which is going to support good immune function. It's going to support blood sugar balance and lipid regulation and blood pressure regulation and weight management and hormone production into better balance. So really the point of our products is to bring your body into balance and help it function the way it was meant to when it was created. So that is just a little bit more about that. So next we are going to hear from Miss Rachel Miner. She has a dynamo story as well, and she's going to talk a little bit more about the connection between the gut and mood regulation as well, and a couple of products that specifically link to that.
Okay, thank you. So yes, my name is Rachel Miner. I live in Utah. I'm a mom to 7 kiddos, and my sister and her 3 kiddos live with us too. So we got a full house of like 12 right now. And just a little bit about my story. Like, I started probably at the age of 4 or 5 with severe allergies. And my allergies were so bad that like I usually stayed inside all summer long. And I had like the swelling of the eye, the stuffy nose, everything. And as a teenager, I lived on eye drops, nose inhalers, allergy shots. I'd get allergy shots, both arms, twice a week. Like, that was just my norm to survive. And I still like wasn't, it didn't help the allergies go away. It let, you know, like, it made you survive. And through my teenage years, I got some depression. And I remember, like, my mom has always been like the medicine cabinet, but she always was into all the vitamins. She always took me to the vitamin store. We looked up vitamins, we looked up nutrients, we looked up everything. And so you could go to my mom and you could be like, I have stress and this, and she'd be like, you need your B's, your D's, your whatever. And she would like give me what I needed. And so I grew up taking vitamins, taking probiotics, going to holistic doctors. I would go to the chiropractor, and then you'd go out their back door to the door next door, because the homeopathic person wasn't mainstream back then. And you did your little stuff in the back door so that you could run it through, you know, like that's, I grew up with all of that stuff. And so I kind of survived as a teenager learning about all that stuff. And even when I went to college, like, there was a lady who, the professor's wife, opened a little vitamin store. And I guarantee every time she saw me walking in the door, she'd be like, ooh, here comes Rachel, because I would buy everything that she'd be like, you need this, 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 this. So I grew up knowing that nutrients were good and probiotics were good. And then I got married and I started having kids, and I do what every mom does. You put on the happy face, you act like everything's okay. And then behind closed doors, I suffered. And I was one of those silent sufferers. My depression started getting worse. I remember the year I turned 30, it was like, this is the year I'm getting back in shape. I've had a couple kids, and like, I literally would laugh every day. I'd get on the scale and the scale would just go up, and I'd be like, I'm smart. I know, exercise and eat right. And I've always been a runner. I've always been athletic. I would exercise. I would try to eat right. And my depression got worse, my weight got worse, and everything. And I just spiraled. And it's, you know how Jessica talked about how like, you're just so tired. I would just be exhausted. And when you're in survival mode, you don't thrive as a person. Like, you just survive through life. And so I was just surviving through life. And I kind of had forgotten all of the stuff from my teenage years. And I was just back on allergy shots, back on asthma medicine, back on EpiPens, inhalers, like everything just to survive. And my depression got severely, like way, way worse, to a point that it scared me, and I knew I had to do something. And I went into the doctor, and I had some thyroid issues, and he's like, oh, you have all these nodules and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, like you're gonna like take out my thyroid and it's gonna make everything better. And he's like, no, we're gonna take out your thyroid and it's gonna make all your symptoms worse. You're gonna be more tired. You're probably gonna gain more weight. You'll have to be on thyroid medicine the rest of your life. And it crushed me. It literally crushed me. And that's when I was like, I'm finding my own answers. I'm going back to the root. And that's when I remembered all of the like things I had done as a teenager. And I started researching even more. And I'm like, there has to be answers out there. And at the same time, I saw a friend that I had not spoken to in 20 years since college, posting about this pink drink. And of course, in my survival brain, I thought all I needed to do was lose weight, and all my problems would go away, because I was only depressed because I was overweight. I was only tired because I was overweight. My allergies were just severe because I was overweight, because you just don't think straight. And as a mom, you justify everything away. You're like, it's because I'm going to school. It's because I had a new baby. I'm working. Like that's just, you're just tired and you accept it, you know? So I ordered the products thinking it would help me lose weight and then I'd be happy. And I was not sleeping. I probably did not realize how lack of sleep was contributing so greatly. And that's where that like gut-brain connection comes in. That gut-brain connection, 90% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. And there's receptors between your gut and your brain. And when they talk about you have a gut feeling, it's because your brain, all of those receptors, everything's in your gut, like your mood, your serotonin, like everything, your depression, your anxiety. And that's what I was missing from when I was a teenager. I did not realize how it all tied together. So I ordered these products and it took about 3 days, and I slept through the night for the first time and got good sleep. And I could not even remember when I had ever had good sleep in my life. Like that, like I woke up and I like actually felt rested, because my kids had gotten to the point where a normal thing was if my door was closed, you didn't open it and you didn't bother mom because she needed her sleep. And on Saturday, it was like, don't even come in before 1 because I'm catching up on my sleep, which does not work, but you think it does. So I started sleeping, and it took about a week for the depression, that cloud. And I was a silent sufferer because I had a good husband. I had a good life. I loved my kids. Like there wasn't a reason why this dark cloud should have followed me all the time. And so I always felt like there was something wrong with me. Like, why would I have this depression? Like, why couldn't I just snap out of it? And about a week when that cloud finally lifted and I felt like I got my life again, like you've heard several times today, like you have hope, you feel like you're yourself again, you get your life back. That's when I was like, there's something to these products. And all of a sudden, the weight didn't matter because I was feeling good and I had the energy that I needed to do. And even though you still want to lose the weight, it goes from the top of your list down a couple notches because you realize you're sleeping and like you're a good mom and you're happy all the time. And I did lose some weight, but it wasn't instantly. I did notice my body started shrinking. My puffiness started going away. I got my eyes back. I always was like, I can't even see my eyes anymore because my face was so puffy and stuff. And so like, it was just wonderful to like feel like myself again. And I hadn't felt that in so many years. And so that's when I was like, wow, there's something to these products. Maybe I should like learn more about them. And I started researching them and being like, what are the ingredients in here? And that's when I learned so much about the ProBio 5, because I'm like, I've taken probiotics for 30 years. Why did this one make such a difference? And it was what Jessica talked about. It had the enzyme in it that broke down that bad candida. I had been feeding my gut with good probiotics, but I had not ever cleaned out the candida. So the good could never thrive because I was never getting rid of that bad, and it was just overpowering everything because my gut was in such a bad place. And so that's like, to me, I just kept going, what's the difference in this? What's the difference in this, you know? And since then, they have come out with another probiotic. It's called microbiome. And I always tell people it doesn't replace ProBio 5. So because ProBio 5 is the only probiotic we have that has the digestive that breaks down the candida. So microbiome is a second probiotic that you can add. And it has 8 good strains that have been clinically proven, the strains to like help with IBS issues, stress issues, mood issues, all of those things that is that gut-brain connection to help you with your mood and your anxiety and all those mood issues and things like that to make you, you know, have the good bacteria thrive in your body. And it's not that these cure everything, it's that they are the reset button for your body. So then your body is functioning properly and working the way that God meant it to work. And that's why it helps with so many different things. And that's why we all have these amazing things and we all have different stories. And it's like, how can these products help with all these different things? And it's because it's healing your body. And that's what's the game changer. Yeah. She's game changer. It was so good. So yeah, so that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I was one of those, and I was the same way. I have to share this because there are other people who are like me, who are silent sufferers, who have never told anybody they struggle with things. And I'm like, I got to find the one. I got to find the one that's just like me, you know? And so that's why we're all so passionate, is because we've seen it like give us our life back and give us our hope back and, you know, and help us like thrive again instead of just surviving. So.
Oh, I love that. And P.S., if you don't know, Rachel wrote a book called Gut Health Secrets, and she shares a lot of this information in that book. So I also just want to make sure that you understand that you do not have to be a medical professional to be able to learn this kind of stuff. I happen to be a doctor, Egan happens to be an EMT, but Rachel's a mom who read a lot and learned. So anyone can do this. And we have people from all sorts of backgrounds on our team. And that's what makes us so, so powerful, because we have such different stories. So I loved what Rachel said about how the products can do so many different things for so many different people. And it's just all a small number of products. And that's because it addresses the 3 root causes of disease. And that's gut imbalance, blood sugar imbalance, and inflammation. So when you address those 3 root causes, you are going to see a huge impact in whatever issues you deal with. And the other thing that was pointed out in the comments, but we'll just mention here for the recording, is that everybody is going to see results in different areas in different timelines, because we all have different causes of our issues, right? So it's going to take longer to heal some things than others in different people's bodies. For me, I saw blood sugar craving, or my sugar cravings went down really, really quickly. And for some people, that could take 3 or 4 months before their cravings start to go away. For Rachel, her sleep improved like almost immediately. And for me, it was like the first 3 months, but some people it's 6 months or more. So the people who see the most success with these products are the people who are very consistent for at least 6 months. Melissa just mentioned hers was about 3 weeks in, she saw that change in her sleep. So as Rachel mentioned with the Vital Biome, those 8 strains of good bacteria that are in there, they all have clinical trials that show that they can help with IBS, as she mentioned, anxiety and stress, and then also immune function. There are strains specifically in there to help boost immunity. So I'm not a person who's ever struggled with anxiety or mood issues, but as a physician who's exposed to everything under the sun, I take Vital Biome, especially during flu season, and right now, absolutely during COVID. I'm taking it every day in order to help boost my immune system and give me that extra protection. So I just wanted to really briefly, I know we're a little past time, so if you need to hop off, don't feel bad. We won't hold that against you. But I did just want to go over 2 more products that are in our Wellness Essentials combo. That is a combo that was created by our amazing company just for in response to this COVID pandemic, because they know that what we need right now is we need to focus on our health and boosting our immunity. So the 4 products that are in that combo are the ProBio 5 that we've already talked about, the Vital Biome, because as we've mentioned, probiotics are incredibly important, but you also need to get rid of the bad, as Rachel said, in order for the good to be able to thrive. So those 2 products are in that combo. And then the other 2, one is Ease. Ease is a natural anti-inflammatory. It's basically a bunch of anti-inflammatory foods: green-lipped mussel, bromelain from pineapple, turmeric, which is just a plant, and serrapeptase is an enzyme, but it's basically an anti-inflammatory food smashed up in a capsule that you can take. So it's way safer for your gut than ibuprofen, hands down, and will help to decrease that inflammation, not only in your gut, but everywhere else. So Ease is something, I get really puffy when I travel, so I always take this when I travel because it helps so that my puffiness goes down. And then, as Rachel said, I used to always also be that super puffy face that when I started taking these products, all of that inflammation started going down. So Ease is an awesome product to help with that. If you bring your inflammation down, your immune system can function correctly. And then the 4th product in there is X Factor Plus, and that is our amazing multivitamin. It's fully methylated, which means you can absorb it. It has a patented aloe blend in it, which helps to heal your gut and increase absorption of nutrients from your diet and from your supplements by almost 300%. And it has trace minerals in it as well. So some of the things, as I was reading more about gut health and immunity and different things like that, is some of the key nutrients that are really essential for immune function is vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And those are all found in X Factor Plus. And then as Egan mentioned, you also need that magnesium, or your vitamin D is not really going to do you a lot of good. So that is found in BioCleanse in the triplex. So those are kind of our core foundational products. We have other products that are specific for weight management. We have other products that are for consciously clean skincare that beat European standards and far exceed US standards for skincare. And then we have a clean energy drink. We have an omega. We have several other products, but really what we wanted to focus on today is the products that are the foundation, that are really going to help you to boost your immunity and to help your body function appropriately. So I see a few comments coming in. Amy said Ease saved her from shoulder and knee surgery, which is amazing, right? And Emily said it saved her from back surgery. So really there's like alternatives to surgery, and this coming from an MD who trained in allopathic medicine. I'm as Western medicine trained as you can be. But when you are looking for answers, you realize that Western medicine does not have it all, and that we really need a good combination of Western medicine and supplementation and non-traditional medicine in order to help our bodies the way that they are meant to be. Tanya asked if the products are safe for kids. So we do actually have a children's multivitamin probiotic combo, which I seriously, when they announced this product, I can't even tell you how I wanted to like stand up and shout hallelujah, because as a pediatrician and a mom, I can tell you that this is the best product on the market for your kids. There's no artificial sweeteners in it, and there's no sugar in it. If you look at any kids vitamin on the market, like the number one ingredient is sugar or corn syrup, one of the two. And we have no sugar or artificial sweeteners in our products. We use stevia, which is a plant, to sweeten all of our products. So the kids one, it's colored with beetroot. That's why it's pink. So there's no artificial dyes in it either. It also is methylated vitamins, which is going to help with absorption. It's a full complement multivitamin and 5 strains of probiotic in it. I promise you, you will not find a better children's multivitamin on the market. I've tried. So, but I love that product. I also give several of these products to my children every day, and lots of other people on our team do as well. You had someone ask about the xylitol in the kids vitamin. So there is a very small amount of xylitol in the kids vitamin, and somebody had asked this when it first came out, and so I did a bunch of research on it, and honestly, in the amount of xylitol in that children's vitamin is not going to have any negative effects at all. You have to really be taking like mega doses. So some people who are on a really strict keto diet but really still want their sweets, and they do a lot of sugar alcohols, those are the people that are going to see the liver effects. So if you're getting the tiny amount of xylitol that's in the kids vitamin, that you're going to be just fine. So let me see if I missed anything else. Carrie's interested in the weight management stuff. And so Carrie, I would just encourage you to talk to your friend who invited you here a little bit more about the specific products there. But honestly, with just the triplex, I lost 12 pounds in the first 3 months I was on triplex. And part of that is just because when I started listening to my body and stopped eating all the crap, I started losing weight. And then also there is a really strong correlation actually to certain probiotics, like certain bacteria in the gut, and the impact that that has on weight management. So specifically Akkermansia is one bacteria that's found in very high levels in people with a lean body habitus, and it's in very low levels in people with overweight and obese habitus. So one of the things that specifically we have trials on is in the microbiome slim, the raspberry watermelon flavor. That one has prebiotics in it that specifically feed Akkermansia and can increase it by like 290 times in your body. So that's a great product as well when you're looking for weight loss. Some people don't see weight loss right away, and that's because if you have a lot of healing to do, if you have a lot of issues, like Rachel said, the weight was not the first thing, but it was like all these other things were getting better. And then eventually your body's like, okay, now we can lose weight, but we have to take care of all those other important things first. So some people will notice weight loss right away, and some people it will take a lot longer if you've got more healing to do. So if you're somebody with a lot of autoimmune issues, a lot of inflammation, several other issues like really imbalanced gut, it's going to take some time for you. And so we always encourage people to look for the little wins, look for the things that are improving. Write down everything that you're struggling with right now, and over time you're going to be able to check those things off that list as you're going to start to see things improve. Let me see what else is over here. GAPS intro diet. And Rachel has mentioned that already. She answered that. Rachel De La Cobas lost 55 pounds post-baby, and she's pregnant with another one. We're so excited for them. Nature Throid is just fine. You just have to separate it by a few hours. So Rachel's answering those questions for you, Kat. Hopefully that's helpful. Okay. Does anybody have any additional questions? If you want to ask, feel free to unmute yourself. If you want to hop off the call, feel free. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I do want to just mention that it is the end of the month, and we have some really incredible deals going on right now. Our company is one of the most generous companies you will ever see. We are a debt-free company, and we are owned by ourselves. We don't have shareholders, and so our executives get to make their own decisions what they do with their money. And when this COVID pandemic came out, they know that they have a product people need. We have a product that people need because we help to provide good health and immunity. And so what they decided to do was they have open enrollment right now, which means that you can enroll in our company for $9.95. It's normally $39.95, which is still an incredible bargain. And that gets you wholesale membership. So you get wholesale pricing for a year. And then we have discounted monthly welcome, or your first month, we have a discounted welcome pack right now. And it's even more discounted than it normally is. So they're offering 10% off the already discounted welcome packs, which means you're going to get $150 to $350 worth of product for $89 to $179, which is really, really incredible. And then in addition to that, they've offered this economic stimulus package where if you help 3 friends gain better health as well and join you on your health journey to be your accountability buddies, you actually have the potential to earn up to $520 by next week. So all of this, of course, ends on April 30th. So we would encourage you to just hop off the fence today and get started on your health journey. As you can tell, we are pretty passionate people. And that is because when your life has been changed, you make it your mission to help other people change their lives. And that is really what this is all about to us. This is not about a paycheck, although for lots of us, this is really helping us to feed families and to get through job loss and different things like that. That's not my situation, but I know personally that there are people here that that's what it is for them. And that is just because they are so generous in our company to offer that payment for people who are willing to help other people change their lives. So we would just invite you that if this has spoken to you, if you've heard something tonight that has touched your heart and has made you think, man, this is really something I could benefit from, we would just invite you to hop right off the fence and join us. So you won't find deals like this really probably for a long time. So this is your chance this week to do that. And we would love to help you out in any way. We are here to walk on this journey with you every step of the way. Your friend that invited you here would love to just hold your hand on this journey, social distancing style, on the phone probably, but to help you along this journey. And we are part of this big, huge team. Egan and Rachel and I have no financial relationship with each other, by the way. We're just 3 different people on 3 separate teams who really have a passion for health and for helping our friends. And so that's why we're here, honestly. That's it. So if anybody has anything they'd like to add, feel free. If you have questions, I'm happy to stick around for a few minutes while my kids are watching a movie before I go put them to bed. But yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.